Good morning and welcome to a very, very out of ordinary edition of The Chop with Marvin Lee. Uh, when I say good morning, it is Sunday morning at 1:38 a.m. And I don't know, today or yesterday technically was a really good day for me. And so I just wanted to pop on really quick and just um, give you guys some motivation, encouragement. It is a Sunday morning, 1:39 a.m., when most people and myself would have been in the clubs, uh, dropping it like it's hot, picking it up like it's warm, whatever the case may be. But I find myself in this unique position where I am not the person I used to be, and I don't do the things I used to do, and I'm completely okay with that. My Saturday started out, as most of you know, the Chop with Marvin Lee is I'm testing StreamYard out, but I still have my Riverside subscription. That's the platform that I use to record the podcast. But here lately, it's just a lot of things that are seemingly falling into place for me, and without getting ahead of myself, I don't like putting too much out there because loose lips sink ships, and I'm learning how to not trust my vision with just anybody. But I'm in this space where I'm finding that the more that I determine what it is that I want, the more that I say to myself that it's my time and I'm choosing me, um, I'm finding out that the more I choose me, the more that my higher power, the more that God, the more that the universe chooses me also. And the more that I come in alignment um, with what I've always wanted, it starts to chase me down. There are things that are happening in my life in terms of resources that are suddenly being made available, connections that are being made. Um, and so I just wanted to talk to you guys just to drop a nugget of wisdom really quick, just to say, you know what, I don't know what it is that you're uh, hoping for, what it is that you're believing for. We're not just going to wish because a wish is just that, a wish. Um, we hope for things and then we apply our faith towards the things that we hope for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And if I can, drop a nugget of wisdom on you at 1:41 a.m. on Sunday, January 28th, then that's what I'll do. Um, this is 2024. And when this new year began, I did not, as I always do, um, I didn't have and I don't have a New Year's resolution. I don't believe, me personally, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions because for me, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do at the first of the year because I believe that I should be working on those things every day of that year and every subsequent year and even the preceding years. It's just, I don't determine on January 1st that for 365 days in this year, this is what I'm going to work on. No, things are constantly evolving and changing with me, and I'm just always trying to be a better version today of myself than I was yesterday, and whatever that looks like. I realize that time takes time, and everybody starts at start. And I also learned not to compare my process to anybody else's because comparison is a thief of joy. There are things that I want to do. I want to not so much lose weight. I'm happy with the weight that I have now, but I have a little belly fat, just a little bit, not much, just a little bit. I don't have a dad bod. The boy's still kind of fine, but anyways, no, it doesn't work for me in line with how my stomach used to look. It's not that I'm vain or anything like that, but I'm doing this for me, right? So when I get in the gym, I'll get in the gym. When I get in the gym, I'm not pressuring myself. I'm not rushing myself. And I know that it all starts with diet because I can work out as much as I want to, but if I'm not watching what I am consuming, that's not going to do much good for me. I want to be more spiritually fit. I want to work on my spirit, soul, and body this year. That's including meditating more, yoga, should I so choose to do that, which I'm more than likely going to do that. Reading more, journaling more, getting out, enjoying nature more, walking, um, visiting with people, really pushing myself to birth the vision that I have, the early phases, early stages of the vision that I have for my life. Because one thing that I want to do, again, I'm very open and transparent about being a recovering addict. Um, and there's light. I'm a source of love and light, and I really want to motivate, inspire, encourage, influence, and impact others who may be in that struggle, and not so much even just those who may be suffering with or dealing with addiction, but anybody. I don't care what your problem is. I want to be able to present solutions, because the longer I talk about my problem, the longer I'm going to have the problem and the larger the problem is going to be. But the moment that I focus on the solution and I become aware of the solution and I have the willingness to put forth the effort to get in the solution, now I am eradicating the problem. And then my self-esteem increases, the insecurities start to dissolve and melt away, my confidence is boosted, and I just feel more productive because I'm doing something productive. Um, and one thing I know, I'm 50 years old and I know I don't look like it, but it's never too late to become who you were meant to become. Dreams never die. Um, and it's just, I don't know, there's something interesting that's happening. I mean, my birthday is August 6th. I'm a Leo. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm a proud Leo. And there's something for me that's significant about this first full moon, the wolf moon of 2024, the very first one. It's a full moon in Leo. Um, and, some people feel how you feel and believe what you believe. What you believe doesn't affect my life, and I'm okay with that. What you think about my life doesn't define my actions. What I think about my life defines my actions. But the significance of that, of the first full moon of 2024 being in Leo is significant for me, and it means something to me. And I feel the shift. I feel the alignment. I feel an awakening of my purpose. I feel that I am choosing me, like not just that. And I feel like the alignment and the shift is occurring because the universe, God, is choosing me and saying, now is the time. Everything that you've gone through up until this point has prepared you for this moment. I never said that you wouldn't go through anything. I didn't say that everything that you went through would be good, but I said that the outcome, those things that you went through would work for your good. So the outcome is going to be good. And I understand that sometimes a good thing falls apart so something better can fall into place. And it's in the process of the falling apart or in the coming together into something else or becoming something greater, that struggle of letting go of the old and stepping into the new in the struggle. That's where the beauty is, because it's the outcome that's going to be the beautiful thing. And as long as I focus on where I'm going through the eyes of faith, and I hold on to my hope and I maintain my courage, I'm going to be amazed at the end result. But the problem is, in times past, I've gone kicking, screaming, and being dragged along. And I know that I have, this is what I have to do. I have to surrender, let go, or be dragged. That's it. If I surrender and let go, if I just stop fighting and trust the process, I can arrive at the destination God has appointed for me a lot quicker than if I just fight and say, no, I don't want to go. The resistance and the hesitation. And that's rooted in fear. And I have an earnest desire for God to show me or to reveal to me the things that I just wasn't paying attention to. The things that have been there all along, things that I just didn't see, but that were right there for me to see. I just want those things to be made clear to me. And the reason I want to work on me is because I want to be a beneficial blessing to other people, because I have a vision for my life. I have a dream for my life, and it's a big dream. It's a lofty, lofty, lofty dream, but God ain't worried about that. In fact, he says, hit me with your best shot. See if you can amaze me. I bet you I'll amaze you before you amaze me. And I'm just grateful that I'm in a place now where I'm finally settling into me. I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in. I'm comfortable knowing that I have a hope and I have a future. I'm hopeful. I'm faithful. That's not to say that I don't feel fear. I still feel fear. I can talk about the issues that I've been dealing with. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it right now, 1:48 in the morning, but in light of all the struggles that I've experienced over the past couple of years, I find that I'm in a place of and I have been just in a place of peace. And it feels amazing because I know that I can recall a time when I would have fallen apart um, easily, and I would have resorted to the drugs and the alcohol because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. You know, I lied, I stole, I did a whole lot of things just to support a habit that was um, diminishing my livelihood and tearing my life apart. And I had morphed into a person that I didn't even like. I didn't like myself. I didn't even love myself. And it wasn't the drugs that made me do it, because if I say it's the drugs that made me do it, then what was it that made me do the drugs? And what I do is I focus on the things that made me do the drugs. And when I do that, I'm able to really get to the heart of the matter, the root cause of exactly why I did the things that I did in the first place. And it's the awareness of those things that allow me the opportunity to keep pressing forward and just knowing that I am not who I used to be. And the life that I want, the life that I've always dreamt of living, I'm well on my way to getting there. The hard part is over. The hard part is over. I've entered into an arena. It's so much easier being um, a recovering addict than it is to be a using addict. It's so much easier to not use drugs than it is to use drugs. And that's not to say that I don't want that there'll be a misconception that, there's a controversy, a lot of people think, and that's fine. I'm a recovering addict, so I have firsthand knowledge and firsthand experience. And I know a lot of people in this same situation. The disease of addiction is just that it is a disease. Now, I may deal with the disease of addiction in the way I think. As long as I have a solution to the problem, that's the cure. That's not to negate the fact that the disease of addiction is real. However, if I stay in the solution is the cure. That's the potion, so to speak. It is the cure. It's the solution. As long as I stay in the solution, I'm safe. I'm okay. That's, again, not to say that the disease of addiction is not real. As long as I continue to do the things that I need to do to stay away from the disease of addiction, I'm going to be okay. But the moment that I stop doing the things that I know that I need to do to continue living the life that I am living, apart from the drugs and the alcohol, as long as I keep moving forward, I am operating in my cure, right? The only moment or only time that I have to worry about a relapse or going back to that disease is when I deliberately, consciously choose to do so. I don't just end up back where I started out. I have to put forth some effort to go back. I have to put forth some thought, some energy to go back where I came from. And one thing for me that I'm holding true to and holding fast to is, because my life had gotten way out of hand and out of control when I was using, but I remember praying because I was raised in church. I mean, I don't mind people knowing that I have a religious background, but I'm a spiritual person. Religion I don't do, but spirituality, I'm all about that. But I was raised in church and I've always hated religion, but I've always loved God. And I remember my life had gotten so bad, in using active addiction, it had gotten so bad. I wasn't really talking to people about what I was dealing with and what I was going through because I'm good about talking about the situation, but I'm not good about talking about, or I had not been good about talking about my feelings about a particular situation, but I would talk about the situation. But it just so happens that at the time I was still in denial. I wasn't even talking about the situation because I'm in denial about the fact that I'm struggling, that I'm an addict. I'm something that I said I'd never be. When I was 5 years old, I said I wanted to grow up to be a singer. I never said and never thought in a million years that I'd grow up to be a recovering addict. That is just not what was in the cards as far as I could see. And I remember when I first used, it was fun at first until it wasn't. And now I have to utilize everything that's at my disposal, 12-step programs, information provided by those 12-step programs, um, connection with people. I have to dig deep within myself. I always constantly say, I'm telling myself and telling other people as well, if you don't go within, you will go without. So if I don't go within, I will go without. And so my prayer of desperation, and I was about to go on a tangent, which is a beneficial one, but I remember praying to God and saying, God, if you deliver me from this darkness, I promise I will follow you. And I had no idea what following God would look like. But one thing for sure, and two things for certain, I knew that that was a promise that I made. There was one time that I meant what I said. And I didn't care what it would look like because anything had to look better than where I was and what I had been doing. And I'm coming up on almost 5 years. March 18th, 2019 is the day that I decided I've had enough. And I'm approaching 5 years of keeping my promise to God. And God always keeps his promises. God is faithful concerning his promises, but I was never faithful concerning mine. And I find myself now I'm in a position where it's like I really want God to know that I'm serious about what I said. I honor what I spoke. I honor that is a truth. I don't want to go back to what I used to do or what I used to be. I don't want to go back to where I used to hang out. There are places that I went that there are places that I went and people that I was involved with that and things that I did that no sane individual would put themselves in those predicaments. Yet I did it because I was under the influence of these drugs and alcohol. And it's just I did whatever I could to keep going. But at the root of it all, I just didn't want to deal with me. I was running from me. And it turns out that the very thing I was running from, I crashed into. I was running from myself and I crashed into myself. And no longer do I want to run from myself. In fact, that I love me today. And I can love other people because I love myself. And I realize I'm not responsible for what people say or do to me, but I'm responsible for how I respond and how I react. And I was always defensive. And that's not to say that I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It means that I'm still growing, I'm still changing, I'm still evolving. That old nature is still there. And I have to work, I have to remain vigilant to keep it under arrest or to keep it under control, or to make sure that I'm not causing anybody any harm because I'm acting out in a manner which is indicative of who I used to be and not who I am now. Because I'm that person that if my audio and video don't match, then I gotta look at me. I gotta really figure some things out because at the end of the day, that's what hypocrisy is. And one thing I'm not, never have been, is a hypocrite. If I can't walk it like I talk it, I'd rather just be quiet. But I made a promise to God that I would follow him. And one thing I can say is I love the life that I'm living today. I love the opportunities that have come my way today. I see more coming to me. I have an influence that I didn't know I had. I'm able to make an impact that I never knew I'd be able to make. And there's some things that are suddenly being rebirthed. And I say rebirth, maybe it was never birthed. I just got a glimpse of it, but it's being birthed finally. Because had I operated or tried to move in those areas prior to now, it may have been an aborted mission. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't need to know. I don't care. I know that where I am right now, I have the opportunity. This is my do-over moment. This is my do-over moment. And I'm grateful to be in this spot and in this space. And excuse me just one moment. I'm grateful to be in this spot I'm grateful to be in this moment. I'm grateful that I've learned how to extend grace to myself. I'm grateful that I've learned and am learning how to extend grace to other people. I'm grateful that I'm learning how to let go of the things that no longer serve me. I'm grateful that I've always had a positive attitude and I choose to camp out um, in the area of positivity. I just don't want to dwell where there's negativity. I don't even want to visit the space where there's negativity. If I can't build you up, I definitely am not going to tear you down. You know, words are powerful, so I've learned to be careful with what I speak. And that has not always been the case. I don't know. I just wanted to hop on here tonight and just record. It's almost like a musician that goes into the studio because they have this these lyrics that just keep rolling around in their head and they just want to, you know, record it. And coincidentally, I was doing that earlier with a couple of my sponsees, you know, in this 12-step program that I'm in. I sponsor guys, and two of them, we were over here and I'm just amazed at the work. I mean, a lot of people don't know that I sing, but I do. And one of the reasons a lot of people don't know that is because I was always insecure about it. I sang and sang well, but I just never, most people would not know or would not think that I had an insecurity centered around my singing, but I did. But it wasn't so much about the singing, it was about my self image. It was about the things that I knew about me that I didn't want you to know about me. Now enter the drugs. The things that I didn't want you to know about me, they no longer matter because the drugs made me forget about those. But then when the drugs are taken away, guess what? The things that I didn't want you to know about me, no, I got to work on those things. And I'm in a space today where I'm a-okay. I don't have any secrets. You want to know what I did? I'll tell you. But if it's just for a gossip session, it's none of your business. Mind your business. Because if you're all in my business, I will certainly file you on my taxes next year because you were all up in my business. Um, I don't know. I'm happy. I'm free today. And that's something that I waited a long time to say, not just say, but to live. And I fight every day to stay in that place of freedom. I don't take it for granted because as easily as I got it, if I don't keep doing what I'm doing now, I can lose it just as easily. Um, this is The Chop with Marvin Lee, and I do hope that you guys will continue to follow along. Um, I put my handles, some of my handles with, you know, a few social media platforms that I'm on down below. I'm looking forward to some great things this year, not only in my life, but in your life also. Do something kind for somebody else. Don't be so self-centered all the time. Think about somebody else. Smile at somebody. Say thank you if somebody holds the door open for you. Hold the door open for somebody. Do something kind for somebody else. Start doing esteemable acts. Again, I just jumped on here. If I want to, uh, I normally record my podcast, The Chop with Marvin Lee, Monday nights, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I am going to be doing a relaunch because there's some things that I'm working on, trying to, you know, enhance, improve, you know, things of that nature. So I'm going to be doing a relaunch. Um, but again, I just wanted to jump on here. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning now, but I had a burst of energy that had nothing to do with the energy drinks that I had earlier in the day. But I'm just happy, and it's not just a happiness; it's a fleeting type of happiness. It's I have joy, and I just wanted to speak on it tonight for a little bit. I hope I've said something that resonated with you. I hope that I've made some new connections via this platform. Um, it is now the 28th of January. 28th of January. 337, if I'm not mistaken, 337 more days to rebrand, redo, just live your best life. 337 days. I think my math is right. Be the best version of you that you can. Be the best version of you that you can for yourself. Show up for yourself so you can show up for somebody else. Stay positive, stay happy, stay loving, and meet me Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually have a guest this week that I'm going to be talking to about some wonderful things that are happening in their lives. I like celebrating other people, and I just like celebrating other people. But that's not to say that I'm missing out on the party of my life, because I'm not. There's enough room for all of us to continue to grow and excel in life and to be great at what we do. Be you. Everybody else is already taken. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. It is 2:04 a.m. It is now time for me to sign off so that I can get my beauty rest. That's how I keep this body tight and the mental right. So this has been episode 14 of The Chat with Marvin Lee, just on a different platform. I love you guys. Grateful to have the opportunity to share this information with you. And I hope you guys will tune in Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I didn't put my Facebook below, but if you check me out on Instagram, I do post a link for the podcast on Monday night. Again, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But Marvin Lee McManus is the last name. Do a search on Facebook. You can find me there. I got 5,000 friends, so you're going to have to follow me. It won't allow me to accept any more friends. And we need to talk to Mark Zuckerberg about that and let us have some more friends. I'm just saying. We could always use an extra friend or two, right? Anyways, good night, guys. Or good morning, shall I say. Have a great Sunday. Do something esteemable for yourself. Do something esteemable for somebody else. This has been episode 14 of The Chat with Marvin Lee. Again, good night.